Okay, we back. I decided to cut the stream up. I decided to cut it up because I knew that having one long stream that goes on for so long is not going to be really good for me in terms of long-term content. Plus, it kind of separates what I was trying to do in the beginning. So, because at first I was just trying to get that thing figured out. Now that I've done that, I don't really have a reason to have it stripped into two pieces. Most of it was probably just me struggling to figure it out, and most of it was probably also me freaking eating lunch or eating dinner, because I left in the middle of the stream to go do that. So yeah, that happened. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and really quickly just like hold this here for a second, because I lied, there was a contradiction. Now then, your cross-examination, if you please, Miss Faye. But I don't. Please, Mr. Wright, tell me you haven't been lying. Lying is mean, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Don't lie to me. Where's my chat? There it is. What does he mean by that? You wouldn't do that to me, would you? Phoenix would. Phoenix is a big fat liar. The victim and I. I admit I was there. But I'm not a killer. All I did was find his body. I hardly knew the guy to begin with. I never even talked to that stuck-up British wannabe. Oh, my dear. Do you think you can manage from your point on? I can't speak English. Why should I even? I can handle it myself. I know how to play this game. Hold it! When you say there, you mean the place where the victim was murdered. Yeah, sort of. The place where something happened anyway. Something? You can't hide what happened. We have photographic evidence. Anyway, Mr. Wright, what were you doing at the scene of the crime? I thought you said you didn't know the victim, Mr. Swallow. It was just a coincidence. We bumped into each other by accident. A coincidence, huh? But I'm not a killer. All I did was find his... You didn't let me finish my sentence. So, you say you found the body. So who called the police? Huh? Unfortunately, it was some other students that notified the police. Other students? That's correct. They were witnesses. Witnesses who saw the defendant standing there next to the boy in shock. Next to the body, not to the boy. The body.
What? Is this true, Mr. Wright?
I'm not gonna do every single one of Wright's sneezes. I don't think I can physically live with myself if I do. Could you stop sneezing every time you're in a bind? Well, it's true that I was pretty shocked when I found the body. But I hardly knew the guy to begin with. So you didn't know his face or even his name, right? Right. Well, no, that is, I mean, so, which is it? Did you know him or not? Oh my god, he just, Now
see here! You can't avoid answering the question by sneezing all day!
Well, I guess I did know his name. News to me? Why didn't he tell me that before? I heard he used to date Dolly.
Who is this Dolly person?
Ah, yes, that would be the defendant's lover, Miss Dahlia Hawthorne.
Oh, I see. Ah, young love. So bittersweet.
But that's all I knew about him. Never even talked to that stuck-up British wannabe. Mr. Wright, you stated the following in your testimony. I hardly knew the guy to begin with. That's right. I mean, why would I even... But that doesn't sound right. If you hardly knew him, then why would you say the victim was a stuck-up British wannabe?
It's you.
Well, Mr. Wright... No, it wasn't me! I'm not a killer, I swear!
Mr. Wright, I will give you an opportunity to revise your testimony. How is it that you knew the victim was, as you put it, a British wannabe?
Yes, well... He was always walking around with a big Union Jack on the back of his shirt. I can do this, I just need to do the thing again. Hold it! Did you see the crime scene? Did you see it at the crime scene? The Union Jack, I mean. Yes, that's right. I saw it at the crime scene. That's why I figured he must love British stuff, see? It's true, cross my heart. I swear I didn't do it. He's acting fishier than the salmon I ate last night.
May I ask you something, Miss Fay?
Yes, Your Honor. What is it now?
Who is this person, anyway? This Union Jack fellow?
The Union Jack is the name of the United Kingdom's flag.
Oh, I see. So you mean like the Stars and Stripes, right?
As usual, Your Honor. Your insight astounds me. Hey, something just occurred to me. Isn't there something strange about this bit just now? Mia,
There is a contradiction here.
Mr. Grossberg. Quickly now, show that boy you mean business, with evidence, I mean. Okay, Mia, check the court record carefully. Well, my dear, do you think you can manage from your own on this point? I can handle it, I've said it 100 times. I'm pretty sure there was no Union Jack in the photo. As far as I remember, there's no Union Jack in the photo. Yep, no Union Jack in the photo. That means this guy, this Phoenix Wright guy, I can't believe it. He is lying. Objection! Are you certain you saw the Union Jack? Yeah, I'm sure. It was right there on his back.
Miss Fay, is there some problem to this line of questioning?
Your Honor, please take another look at the crime scene photo. As you can see, there's absolutely nothing on the victim's back. Hey, wait a minute! He's wearing a leather jacket! The Union Jack was on top of the back of the t-shirt he was wearing. I was under the impression that you accidentally came across the body. But if that was really the case, then you wouldn't have known that, right? You'd have no idea what he was wearing underneath that jacket. Mr. Wright, you've been lying to me. Please forgive me.
Mia, you've made our crying cry.
Let him. Let him. That P on his chest doesn't even stand for Phoenix anyways. I can't believe I trusted him. Mr. Wright was all wrong. That was an impressive bit of cross-examination. Thank you for uncovering the defendant's lies for me. It's quite clear that this man did not simply stumble upon the scene of the crime. Oh, did I go too far? By the way, Mr. Wright, you seem to have a rather bad cold. Have you taken any medicine for it? Yeah, I took some, but... Was the medicine that you took an over-the-counter brand called Cold Killer X? Yeah, that's right. It kills colds good. Hey, wait a second. How did you know that I'm a big fan of Cold Killer X? Would you happen to have some of that medicine with you right now? Well, actually, I seem to have lost it somewhere. He lost it? Does this even have to do anything with the case? Mr. Wright, shall I tell you where your cold medicine is right now? Huh? Your Honor, I'd like you to take another look from the photo at the crime scene.
What's this?
I messed it up.
What's this? In the victim's hand, it's Cold Killer X.
Objection. Yes, but even I've got a bottle of Cold Killer X in my apartment. I'm sorry, but I'm afraid that argument won't work. There's no doubt as to who this bottle of Cold Killer X belongs to, especially since Mr. Wright's fingerprints are all over it. What? And I wasn't told about this? Sensing his murderous intent, Mr. Swallow must have picked up the bottle of medicine dropped by Mr. Wright and hid it in his hand. His purpose in doing so only have been to identify his killer as Mr. Wright. No rational person would do this! And no dying person would do this either. No one with a brain would do this. Even if they did, that is a stupid thing to do. This is really bad.
Oh, my buttocks. My
Poor hemorrhoids. Why does he keep talking about his hemorrhoids? Mr. Grossberg, please keep that to yourself. TMI. What really happened? The truth is, I went because he called me. He was in the fart. Excuse me? Okay, here we go. He was in the pharmaceutical department, so we decided to meet at 2:45 behind that building. We talked for a bit, and then around 3 o'clock, we split up. Then, later when I went back, I found him lying there. I'd been taking Cold Killer X for the last 2 or 3 days, but I lost my bottle around lunchtime of the day of the accident.
Mr. Wright, that's completely different from the testimony you gave us previously.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. I was afraid you wouldn't believe the truth. Forgive me if I say I hardly find your current testimony any more credible. Mr. Incredible, incredible, incredible. He's unsourceable. Bitch. I'm said what I said. I'd rather be Mr. Wright instead. Getting charged with murder right in my head. I'm gonna Maya Wright Burger instead. What did I even just say? That didn't even make any fucking sense whatsoever. Okay, well.
Miss Fay, please begin your cross-examination.
Oh, please, Mr. Wright, don't tell any more lies. What really happened? The truth is, I went because he called me. He was in the pharmaceutical department, so we decided to meet at 2:45 behind that building, but not to do any gay stuff, because that'd be gay. Had you ever met the victim before then? No, never! But that day he called me up and said he wanted to talk about Dolly.
And this Dolly person is...
My, it's kind of embarrassing. She's, my sweetheart.
What was that for, Mia?
Oh, I'm sorry. I just felt like slapping something all of a sudden. What? Mia, come on, man. You just slapped this poor old man for no reason? Dahlia Hawthorne was also the lover of the murder victim, Miss Swallow. I mean, Mr. Doug Swallow. Mr. Doug Swallow. Doug Swallow. Doug Swallow. Doug Swallow. Doug Swallow. Doug Swallow? Doug Swallow. I'm trying to figure out what the pun is here, because I know there's a pun. I know with, like, Mr. Wright, it's, you know, the whole joke is that he's right. He's Phoenix Wright, which is also, like, right, law, rights. Right, I'm right in the eyes of the law, whatever. Phoenix Wright rises back up. Phoenix, yeah, that's the bit with Phoenix. He always gets his shit together when he least expects it, and at the right time, he basically just rises up and becomes the symbol of da-da-da-da-da, or whatever, right? I'm a freaking genius. I deserve an Emmy. So it was one of those nasty love triangles I see. I'm gonna stop doing the voices for a bit because it hurts my voice. It was in the pharmaceutical department, in the pharmacology department, so we agreed to meet at 2:45 behind that building. He had a whole laboratory and everything. It was filled with chemicals and strange machines that run on high voltage electricity.
Oh, fascinating. He sounds like he was quite an ambitious young man.
What do I do? Maybe I should ask him for more details? About the timing of the meeting. So you're absolutely certain you met at 2:45? Yeah, pretty sure. That's the time class ends. But they're always doing experiments, so it doesn't matter much. Experiments? Yeah, those pharmacology guys are always whipping up something in the lab. Well, looks like he's right about the time anyway. Witness, let's go on with your testimony.
We talked for a bit,
Look, we split up. I gotta check. I think this is when I gotta, because he would have been dead by then. At around 3 o'clock. The victim died around 3 o'clock. I think I have what I need. Frankly, I find that Cold Killer X might be a little bit of an irrelevant red herring. So you say you went back. Yeah, that's when I found the body. Yes, but why did you go back in the first place? Weren't you angry with him? Well, that's right, I was. Then why, Mr. Wright? Why did you go back there? I thought maybe we could make up. Judging by the atmosphere, I'm pretty sure no one is buying this. Phoenix is a terrible liar. victim's watch started working at around 3 o'clock. That's when the murder took place. And I don't think we can see his watch and his arm in that photo. There's an umbrella there as well. Unknown why the umbrella would be there. Your Honor, that statement contradicts this evidence. Oh shit, I didn't do a save state. What time does he have lunch at? Okay, hold on. So, Phoenix, he didn't kill the guy, obviously, because he's not guilty of murder this early in the game. And come on, his name's on the fucking title. So no reason for him to be the guilty one. Oh, there's more than one message! Look. Ah, crap. Now I can't just predict. It's whatever. I'll just save state here. No, I can't do it on this one. I have to do it on this. Talked a bit, then around 3 p.m. they split up. Later, when he went back, he found him lying there. Been taking Cold Killer X for the last 2 or 3 days. Lost his bottle around lunchtime of the time of the accident. Okay, hold on. He died at 3 o'clock. Okay, there's no watch on his photo, or in his hand, on his wrist in that photo. Also, doesn't look like it, but it's not raining here, so why does he need an umbrella? It's weird. Okay, hold on. You lost your bottle of it around lunchtime. But who did you give it? How would he even have gotten it? If they were there just having a civil dispute, why the hell would Doug even have it in the first place? Seems to me like Doug just had his own bottle and Phoenix misplaced his somewhere. But then again, I am thinking from the perspective of Phoenix is innocent 100%. We know this, but like, at the same time, yeah, we should believe that Phoenix is innocent because that's literally what Mia thinks at this time. We should be thinking that there's no possible way that Phoenix could have done this. I wish I could present the badge, but I don't have enough points for that. Trying to figure this out. Didn't think I'd forget this, because I knew at some point, knew how to do this. I'm just gonna go through and press again on everything and see if I find anything. Had you ever met the victim before then? That's a contradiction. I think. No. Not necessarily. What was that for? Why is she beating the shit out of Grossberg? Why am I swearing so much? That's not cool. One of those nasty love triangles I see. He was in the pharmacology department, decided to 245. Why that building specifically? Maybe I just need to press more on all of this stuff. I already asked about the timing. I'm gonna ask about the pharmacology department. Can you tell us more about the pharmacology department? Well, okay, sure. I don't know all that much, though. A little bit earlier, you said in your testimony, you said something interesting. I can't speak English. You said the department uses strange machines that run on high-voltage electricity. That's right, and they sure look dangerous. They use non-standard voltages, so there are high-voltage cables everywhere. High-voltage cables? Yeah, there are electrical poles set up around the building. High-voltage cables run overhead around the roof. Finally, I think we're getting somewhere. I think that's enough for now. So the defendant and the victim met at approximately the time of death. And then the defendant returned to the scene for an unknown reason. I'm not entirely convinced by his explanation about the medicine bottle either. Let me be frank here, Mr. Wright. Your testimony cannot be trusted. What do you mean? I knew it was too high. Why do I keep changing? Like, I keep deciding between doing voices and not doing voices. Should I do voices or should I not? I gotta figure that out. Am I gonna do it or am I not? I knew it was too much work for a little girl.
However, there is one mystery that still remains.
There is, Your Honor?
How the murder was carried out, of course. How is the victim electrocuted? I don't believe the murder weapon has been produced yet, correct?
Well, that is... You are correct, Your Honor. So how exactly was Mr. Swallow killed? If I could somehow establish how it was done, maybe I could still come out of this mess smelling like a rose. I can do it. I can do it right now. Your Honor!
Yes, Miss Faye.
I believe that if we were to piece together everything we've heard up until now, we should be able to solve the mystery of how Mr. Swallow died.
That would be most impressive.
I can't... I'm like doing a Jim Carrey and John Mulaney mashup for this guy, for Pain, and I don't even know if he'd sound like that. I'm gonna be right back. I got a thing I gotta take care of. Well, it looks like someone's dedicated to seeing this whole thing through. Usually when I take breaks like that for stuff important or not important, usually people just disappear. I'm honestly kind of shocked. Thank you. But even a beginner like you must understand the basic rules of the court, yes? An attorney must be able to substantiate their arguments with evidence. I'm surprised I was able to say that word without messing up. Because I struggle on basic words. It's funny. It's hilarious, even. Of course I knew that. Actually, I'd totally forgotten about that.
Now then, Miss Faye, let me see what you've got.
Ignore the noise.
Show me how you believe the victim was electrocuted.
I believe this should show it. Yes. I forgot to present it. That's the problem. As for the cause of death, I'd say this picture captures it quite well.
What? But there was nothing that even remotely resembles a murder weapon here. I'm afraid the defense is going to have to explain this a bit more in detail.
Now I feel like giving him Big the Cat's voice.
I think the defense should explain their reasoning more.
It's this cable. Well, naturally, it's right here.
That's... What is that?
A severed electrical cable, I believe, Your Honor. Remember the testimony we've heard. The machines the pharmacology students use in their experiments require high voltage. And because of that, there are special high voltage cables strung up everywhere.
So then, the high voltage cable...
Yes, the high voltage cable is capable of murder. Arrest it. Don't toy with me, old man. Poor Wright. I keep forgetting that Grossberg won't stop bringing up his hemorrhoids. And it's funny as heck to me. Because Grossberg seems to have no concept of TMI. Oh, Phoenix just admitted to murder. I thought Dahlia killed him, though. Because, like, from what I remember, Dahlia Hawthorne's the one who killed him. Right? Like, I'm 85% sure that's true. Dahlia was the one who, you know, pushed her hands, popped the boy right then and there.
What you just said, was that the truth?
Yes. I was afraid. Afraid that if I told the truth, everyone would think I was a murderer for sure.
Well, as things currently stand, we're all convinced you are.
Please give me one more chance to explain. This time I swear. I swear I'll tell the whole truth. It'll be okay. Won't it, Miss Faye? I believe in you. Oh, thank you. I still can't believe it. He really did push the victim. It was like my... the Harlem Shake? What time period did this game series take place in? I don't understand. Does it take place in, like, the 2000s? Does it take place in our current day? Because, like, people say that it takes place during the current day, even though they have, like, outdated tech and whatnot. When I pushed the victim, that guy, he was talking bad about Dolly. I lost my temper and gave him a shove. At that moment, I heard some kind of loud noise. A little while after I left, I started to get worried. So I went back. But he was just lying there, dead. Well, the explanation is really quite simple. When you pushed him, Mr. Swallow flew back and touched the electrical cable. He died from the shock. And that, as they say, is that.
A simple explanation indeed.
At the time of the incident, a light rain had been falling. Wet from the rain, the victim was more easily electrocuted. Hold on, but didn't he have an umbrella? But when I pushed him, there weren't any electrical cables nearby. If there had been something like that, even I would have noticed it. That's true. Even a doofus like him couldn't miss that. Miss Faye. What's up with everyone in this universe just dogging on Phoenix constantly? I mean, not that I'm opposed to it, because, like, that's what makes him funny. He's the one person the universe hates for some reason. But, like, still, everybody dogs on Phoenix's intelligence. And it's just like, why is this guy even a lawyer at this point? I feel like he would have just quit after, like, the 8th time someone told him he's a fucking moron. But whatever, I digress.
Let me warn you right now that if your cross-examination doesn't yield any new facts, I intend to deliver my verdict without further delay. Are we clear on that?
Yes, Your Honor. Don't give up, Mia. If he is innocent, there must be some kind of evidence somewhere that will prove it. Your Honor, I'd like to bring up Exhibit A. His cute-ass face. Give him a shove. Okay, hold on. Let's talk. Let's press this. So what kinds of things did Mr. Swallow say to you? He said all sorts of terrible things about Dolly. He said that she was a bad girl.
Is that all?
Yep.
Well, Miss Faye, you heard him yourself.
Oh boy, you're not doing yourself any favors here, Mr. Wright. Please don't make this harder for me than it already is. Anyway, after he said that, I just... Can you tell me about what happened in a little more detail? That guy. He just said what he wanted to say to me. And then he put on the jacket he was holding and started to leave. That's when I lost my temper and flew into a furious frenzy. I just gave him a light, gentle shove to the chest. And when you did that, there was no severed cable anywhere to be seen. Right! There was nothing like that at all. But is it possible you merely overlooked it? Well, I guess it's possible. What are you doing? Don't let that guy steamroll you over you like cheap asphalt.
I believe what's important here is the moment the push occurred. Let's continue on with the testimony, witness.
At that moment, I heard some kind of loud noises. A loud noise? What would you say that loud noise was, Mr. Wright? I'm not sure, but it was really loud. Like, snap! You know, come to think of it, I wonder what that was. Clearly, Your Honor. It was the sound of the victim being electrocuted. You're not qualified to decide that. What should I do? I'm treading on some dangerous ground here. It never really hurts to ask for more details. Mr. Wright, that loud noise you heard may be extremely important. So try to remember what it was. How do I put it? It was like a sharp crack. Aha! Could it have been? Yes, could it have been? Hurry up and tell us. When I pushed him, he dropped the umbrella he was holding. He fell right on top of it, and it broke. That was probably the noise I heard.
An umbrella, huh? And did that umbrella belong to the victim?
Yeah, it was a plastic umbrella. Cheap and frail, kinda like the owner. Then again, I wish I had any kind of umbrella. I was totally soaked to the bone.
Miss Faye, what do you think? Is there something important in that testimony just now?
Well... This is it, Mia. This is the new information you've been waiting for. Of course it's important! No, this cheap umbrella is more than important. It's vital. I want to officially have it entered into the testimony. Ha! How perfectly fitting. Flimsy information for a flimsy lawyer.
The court agrees to the defense's request. Witness, please add the bit about your cheap umbrella to the testimony.
I got it wrong. Yay. So Mr. Swallow fell on top of his umbrella. Are you certain of this? Yeah, it was right there under him. Actually, if it hadn't been under him, I was planning on borrowing it for myself. The umbrella, you mean? Well, yeah, you see, I was wearing this sweater here. Dolly stayed up late for nights at a time knitting it for me. I didn't want the rain to dampen the handmade symbol of her love.
My stomach is not to be used as your personal soccer ball, Mia.
I'm so sorry.
Continue on with your testimony, witness.
A little while after I left, I started to get worried. So I went back, but he was just lying there, dead. I forgot to press him, Mr. Wright. I gotta press you into a wall. After a little while. Yeah, because we didn't press you about this yet. After you shoved the victim, did you leave the scene right away? Yes, I did. I admit it, I was furious. You left without even checking Mr. Swallow's condition? Well, yeah, but like I said, I got worried about him later. So I went back, but he was dead. At that time, did you see anyone else at the scene of the crime? Nope. Nobody. Jeez, could that stupid cough possibly sound any phonier?
In that case, it's very hard to believe someone else could have been the murderer.
Unless we can find something that shows his innocence from my testimony, my dear. Afraid the judge will make his final decision. Just talking bad about Dolly, you lost your temper, gave him a shove. After you shoved him, he fell down on top of the cheap umbrella. A little while after, you got worried and started to... Hold on a second! He's clearly not on top of the umbrella here. He was moved. If he had died when Phoenix shoved him, the umbrella would still be under him. We got him! We got him! At least I think we got him. I'm gonna go ahead and save here because I don't want to lose any points. I'm a little perfect boy. But I think we got it right here. Why didn't you testify about the umbrella from the very beginning? Come on, if I had mentioned that, I would have been able to counter the prosecution's arguments earlier. Well, what do you mean by that? Take another look at the crime scene photo. According to Mr. Wright, the victim fell on top of his umbrella. However, if you look closely, the umbrella is nowhere near the victim. Actually, it's by the electrical pole.
You're absolutely right!
The conclusion here is obvious. After the defendant left, the victim moved from where he fell. In other words, after he was pushed by the defendant, Mr. Swallow was still alive. No! That's not possible. I'm John Mullady. I know everything.
Order! 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 Cheeseburger. Wait, what? The victim. He moved? Mr. Payne! The umbrella in this photo. Where is it now?
Well, it was collected by the police at the crime scene.
I want it presented as evidence immediately.
Umbrella added to the court record. But the umbrella could have simply blown there by the wind. According to the testimony, the victim fell on top of the umbrella. There's simply no way it could have been blown by the wind. But
I know this matter of the umbrella seems relatively trivial, but as long as the smallest doubt remains, I cannot render final judgment.
No! My toupee!
I must say, I still find it hard to believe that a huge hole has been blown in the prosecution's case by the defendant's testimony.
I can't speak in that voice for very long. Phoenix's testimony. We got his testimony. Hee hee.
Mr. Payne, why are you chuckling about?
Pardon me, Your Honor. It seems I was expecting too much of a free ride. I was foolish to think I could establish guilt through cross-examination alone.
I'm afraid I don't follow what you're saying.
Let me guess. You have another witness. Exactly. And this witness's testimony will be incontrovertible. Incontrovertible? Incontrovertible. Incontroversial? Intercontinental breakfast. I can use one of those. Well, tomorrow morning anyways. Dahlia Hawthorne! I do, Your Honor. The defendant's very own lover is a witness to the whole thing. That's right. She was at the scene of the crime when the murder took place.
What?
I'm sorry to break the bad news to you here, my dear. I'm doing the anime hair flip. Bad news. You couldn't be more wrong. Actually, I've been waiting for this. You can't be serious.
Mia, what do you mean by that? I'm not the judge, but I'm asking. I think this is a good time for us to stop at. Court will now enter a 20-minute recess. Afterwards, we will listen to the testimony of Miss Dahlia Hawthorne.
April 11th. Miss Faye, I'm sorry about what happened back there. It's all right. At least you told us the truth in the end, Mr. Wright. Yeah, so I guess I can start to relax then, huh?
Relax, my boy. You can't be serious, after hiding such important facts. But the next witness is my Dolly, right? She'll save me. I just know she will.
Why do you think that?
Uh-huh? What do you mean? She's the love of my life, that's why.
The love of your life, huh? Would you mind telling me more about you and Miss Dahlia Hawthorne?
Sure, no problem. Dahlia and I...
We first met about 8 months ago, right here in this very courthouse. Actually, I'm studying to become a lawyer on the side anyway. One day, she and I just kind of bumped into each other in the reading room downstairs. That's why I really think it was fate that brought us together. As soon as I first set eyes on her, I knew she was the one for me. Oh, here, take a look at this. She gave this to me the day we met, as a symbol of our love. She had been wearing it around her neck that day, but then she took it off. But before she gave it to me, she said, "I want you to carry this."
So she gave it to you as a present, I see.
This darling little bottle is filled with my memories of my darling little Dolly. It certainly isn't. It certainly is a little bottle, alright. It makes me so happy. I show it to everyone I meet. I want to share my happiness with the world. Dahlia's present. We're gonna use this to convict Dahlia Hawthorne of murder. Multiple times, probably. I don't know. So after that, you and Miss Hawthorne started dating? Yeah, but she's so shy. Every time I see her, she says the same thing. Please give it back now.
What a strange girl, asking for a present back like that.
By the way, Mr. Wright, the day you first met Dahlia Hawthorne 8 months ago, it wouldn't happen to have been on August 27th, would it? Huh? Yeah, it was. But how did you... This happened on August 27th, right here in this courthouse. What's this? A newspaper clipping? Let's see. Murder in the courthouse? Murder?
What are you reading there? Let me see that. Oh, I see. Mia, I think I understand what you're trying to say. And I think I understand why you suddenly took such a keen interest in this case. You believe there was some connection between these two cases, am I correct?
Newspaper clipping. We got free shit. There's a watermelon in the Discord. That's not important to this at all. I just felt like saying it because I saw someone post an image of a watermelon in one of my Discord servers that I'm in. I hope you don't mind, Mr. Well, that's not Phoenix. I need to finish this myself.
Ah, yes, but I'm afraid what you have will not be enough, my dear.
I'll go and have a look downstairs in the reading room and see what else I can find. Thank you.
I want to do whatever I can to be of help to you, Mia. Well, looks like recess is about over. We'd all better get moving.
I guess so. That recess sure seemed longer than 20 minutes, though. Hold up. To be continued. I think it'd be funny if they just, like, went and they've been like, nah, now it's time for you to play as Phoenix. For a moment there, I thought they were gonna do exactly that. I was like, wait, so are we gonna be seeing this court case in parts? No, they wouldn't do that. That'd be too good storytelling for this series. The person is someone who witnessed the crime as it happened. The prosecution calls Miss Dahlia Hawthorne to the stand. Oh, I hate this lady already. What's with this stiff silence?
In my long career as a judge, I've been deceived by many witnesses. It's my job to doubt, to take no one at their word. But in your case, I must admit that you radiate a glow of complete sincerity.
I can't believe he actually said that. Neither can I, Mia. Now then, witness, could you please state your full name?
Don't worry, sweetie, there's no need to be nervous.
If anyone says anything rude, you can be sure I'll cut them down right to size.
And I will pound their...
No! Oh, no. Sorry. I know why I just laughed seemed very, very strange there, but I guarantee you I have a very rational explanation for it. And I'm not gonna tell. All I need you to do is just look up Ace Attorney anime bloopers and you'll understand. Alright, here we go. We're gonna try this one more time. I love how they look straight at me when they say that. Thank you for calming my nerves. You are all so nice. I almost feel right at home. Not at all.
It was nothing.
If we may move on now, what is your full name and occupation? My name is Dahlia Hawthorne. I'm a junior in literature at Ivy University. I just want to say, it's an honor for me to be here in your noble presence. The honor is all mine.
No, the honor is all mine.
Well, we all lose. I can't. The pop culture references in this video game from like 2004 or something. I can't. Well, we all know whose milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. And I'm like, it's better than yours. I would like to say one thing. Dahlia Hawthorne does not even have a milkshake. I'm getting canceled for that. Is there something I can help you with?
You can just go on and say whatever is on your mind.
I'm sure there must be some kind of mistake. Feeny wouldn't kill anyone. I just know it.
Yes, I can see why you'd say that.
She's going to be a tough witness, alright. It only took her 12 seconds to wrap them around her little finger. That was more than 12 seconds, Mia.
Now then, please proceed with your testimony. Let's hear about what you witnessed on the day of the incident, if you please.
What I witnessed. I had been planning to go back to Feeny's place after class was over. Feeny and Doey. They were talking behind the building. Then suddenly, Doey got all wobbly and just collapsed. That's when Feeny noticed I was there. I went to go find some other students and they called the authorities.
I don't know what to say. According to you, Miss Hawthorne, the defendant didn't do anything wrong.
Good, the case is over. We can go home now. Young lady. As old as I am, even I recall how hot the young flame, how the flames of young hot passion can burn. Nevertheless, it is my job to discover the truth. Please tell us the truth. But I would never. That's more than enough, witness. I won't allow this to continue.
What do you mean by that?
Please, just let me proceed with my cross-examination, Your Honor. I, for one, don't plan to win my case on a bunch of paper-thin lies. Tee-hee. You haven't changed a bit, Miss Mia Fey. What's this? So you two are acquainted? Yes, we've met before, once.
In any case, Miss Fey, the floor is all yours.
It's good to see you again, Madam Fey. Madam? I'm no one's grandma yet, girly. I love her dialogue. It's great. I love the way Mia thinks. I love this character, and I'm really upset we don't get to see more of her. Even though this is the game that's basically just her backstory. I had been planning to go back to Feeney's place after class was over. Now, unless I'm mistaken, Mr. Wright is in the art department. If that's the case, then what were you doing by the pharmacology building? Well, I'm in the literature department. I'm studying Japanese senyuru... Senyuru? How do I say that? I don't want to say that if I'm and then pronounce it wrong and then get someone upset. Japanese poetry. Let's just go with that.
Oh, how wonderful! It's that humorous yet satirical style of haiku, yes?
Nothing left to do. When a man reaches this age, sleep is his best friend. That's supposed to be poetry? It sounds more like a midlife crisis. For me to get to the art department, I have to walk through that area.
Ah, yes, I see. That makes sense. When I want to enter the courthouse, I always walk through the front doors.
How else would you enter? Teleportation? Feeney and Doey, they were talking behind the building. Why? Oh, I'm sorry. Doug Swallow. We were dating until about 8 months ago. So what were Doey, Mr. Swallow, and Mr. Wright talking about anyway? How can you be so mean? I would never eavesdrop. I wasn't raised to be so rude and unrefined. That's right, Miss Fey.
Don't drag the witness down to your level.
Why am I being demonized here?
Please, go on. What did you see next?
Then suddenly, Doey got all wobbly and just collapsed. Are you saying that the victim just collapsed on his own? Yes. In other words, the defendant never touched the victim, is that right? I was watching the whole time. Feeney never did a thing to Doey. If I press her for no good reason, I know the judge will just get angry with me. So what should I do about her testimony just now? Well, we could either play into these boys' hands, kinda do what they want us to and just drop it and leave, or we can be Mia Fey, and we can try to come up with a contradiction, because she doesn't talk about a loud noise. As far as I remember. I'll leave it alone for now. That's when Feeney noticed I was there. And what did Mr. Wright say when he saw you? I'm sorry. I was so flustered that I really don't remember. Please forgive me. You don't remember?
Well, that's...
diagnosed me with a case of Phoenix Wright. Oh my god. I need water. I have drunk water. Or drank water. Not drunk, drank. That works better. In a sense.
Well, that's common enough. Sometimes I can't recall a sentence I passed only minutes prior.
Please, someone, anyone, stop him before he gets hurt. By me. I went to go find some other students and they called the authorities. When you say students, do you mean students from the pharmacology department? Yes, they're all very fond of their drugs. Please try to stay on topic. Breaking Bad is secretly taking place over there. Breaking Bad and Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, they take place in the same universe. That's canon now. Better Call Saul exists within the Phoenix Wright canon. So to find some pharmacology students, you went to the labs, correct? That's what I was planning to do, but in the end, I wound up not going. A group of about 10 research students came running out of the building entrance. Somehow they all seemed to know what was going on. The students knew what was going on? I want to press for more details. But how could the students have known what was going on? Well, I don't know for sure that they knew what had happened. It's just they all seem kind of excited about something. Doesn't look like I'm going to get any more information about the students. So did the students call the police? Yes. I was so panicked.
Yes. Well, anyone would have been, my dear.
That girl. She's telling a super obvious lie and she knows it. She's just pretending to protect Mr. Wright. Yes, that's gotta be it. Way to go, Mia. Okay, that means I'm going to have to dig deep to find the contradiction on this one. Okay. Need to take a look at my court record. Okay. Okay, think. Okay, put your criminal law brain to use. You did enough of you took enough criminal justice classes. You should be able to figure this out, big guy. All right, come on. All right. So this is what this looks like. He got moved somehow. It got wobbly and collapsed. She doesn't talk about the umbrella, which makes me think that she doesn't talk about the umbrella, maybe because it's not necessary for her to talk about it. I mean, like, everyone knows about it at this point, isn't he? But then I'm thinking on her line of thinking. If I'm thinking that I'm not trying to defend Phoenix, just trying to make sure he doesn't get incriminated for something, because, no wait, she is defending him, but she wants to get this back, and if Phoenix is in jail, she can't get it back. And that is connected to this. So if Wright goes to jail, she can't get this back from Phoenix. I think it makes sense now. Sort of. Not completely. Show contradiction. Feeble lies are not very becoming, Miss Hawthorne, so let's drop them, shall we? What? I would never. Miss Fay, I will not allow you to badger this witness. I believe the defense is engaged in a fishing expedition. That is, she has no supporting... Please don't glare at me like that. I'm just doing my job. Now then, Miss Hawthorne. Oh! Duh. That's stupid. I always miss it when it's right in front of me. And then I just hit random buttons and I figure out what I'm doing. Do I have critical thinking skills? Or am I just bluffing? That sounds like something Phoenix would say. Like, I feel like he would question if he has actual critical thinking skills at this point, and is just bluffing. Because I know I'm smart. Like, I'm in college. Obviously I'm smart. Smart enough to go to college. They told us the whole truth. Yes, Your Honor. I'd like to revise my testimony. Looks like we're finally getting somewhere. Actually, I didn't see no one. He pushed Dodgy. So you admit! So we agree that Phoenix Wright pushed Joey. I keep saying Joey. His name is Dougie. Every time I drop my controller on my desk, it makes my Switch go numb. I find that hilarious. I didn't see it. Well, I saw the moment when Dougie fell to the ground. And at that time, there was only two of them at the scene. The defendant, Phoenix Wright, and the victim, Doug Swallow. Yes, that's right. No, that's... It didn't look like they were fighting and I didn't hear anything unusual. Objection! You should have heard the umbrella! You say you didn't hear anything unusual? Is that correct? Yes. That is why I was very relaxed, looking at the scenery around me. I'm doing my anime hair flip. That's nice, but I find that just a little odd. I have here the testimony of your boyfriend, Mr. Phoenix Wright, and he clearly testified to the effect that when he pushed the victim, he heard a sharp, loud noise. He said that? If you were really that close to the two of them, why didn't you hear this noise as well? Well, I hate to do this for the second time tonight, but I got somewhere to be, apparently. Because everybody in my life just thinks they can just show up and tell me things at the last minute. So I have to cut this short. But next time on whatever this could possibly be, Ace Attorney, we will uncover the truth about Phoenix Wright and if he was really the one who murdered Doug Swallow. Which we probably already know the answer to, considering, well, what we know about Phoenix Wright already. Until then, well, I believe we know. Good afternoon, good night, good day, good morning, whatever, goodbye. I hit the wrong button on my stream setup.